So there are two games out in the market now that are both competitive first-person shooters with a variety of objectives. There's Paladins, and then there is also the very insanely popular Overwatch. Now, I'm comparing these two games because these are the two games that I have been playing. I'm sure there are other games out there, but I'm just going to use these two for example. So, Overwatch and Paladins are very similar, but also very different. When comparing Overwatch versus Paladins, various communities recommend Overwatch for most people. Now, the question is, what is the best multiplayer, team-based, objective-oriented first-person shooter games on PC or console? Overwatch is ranked number 3, while Paladins is ranked number 8. And the most important reason people choose Overwatch is that Overwatch combines Team Fortress-style game modes, traditional first-person shooter gameplay, and multiplayer online battle arena-esque abilities. Now, there are a variety of characters that play completely different from each other, and for example, one is a melee basher with a charge ability, while other is a super agile character with the ability to zip around the battlefield. Every character has an ultimate ability that recharges throughout the match and can single-handedly change the outcome of a fight. Overwatch is published by Blizzard Entertainment. Paladins is from Hi-Rez Studios. Paladins and Overwatch are both fast-paced first-person shooters, and games are over pretty quickly and queue times are short, so you can make the most out of your playtime. So if you want to play a match right away, you have a good like 10 minutes and then boom, that's it. And then each of the games have an expansive roster of characters. Paladins currently has 22 characters available to play, and those span 4 different roles: flank, support, frontline, and healer. Also, Overwatch does a frontline, flank, support, and healer. And each of the characters are well balanced and have different strengths and weaknesses. And the only difference between Overwatch and Paladins is that Paladins is free to play. Paladins and everything that affects gameplay in Paladins can simply be unlocked by simply playing. However, there are cosmetic items available for purchase if you would like to support the Hi-Rez developers. And there's a great community involved in Paladins, and there are a lot of supportive players, also with Overwatch as well. As for Overwatch, Blizzard Entertainment, many people are quite familiar with what it takes to create a game with solid gameplay and polished looks. For Overwatch, the gameplay itself feels very satisfying as a responsive first-person shooter-based team game. And on top of this, the presentation feels quite polished as the graphics are vibrant and clean, which gives the player a more immersive experience due to the high level of design. The animations found in the game are done well, which makes each weapon feel very realistic. The sound design also fleshes these weapons out thanks to the unique sounds each one has when using them. Overall, this game will not disappoint when it comes to its presentation. And both of these games are team-based gameplay, and that's amazing because it's nice to have a group of friends over and playing the same game and you're having fun, and that's what it's all about for these sorts of games. And then there's a progression system for each of them, basically meaning that there's a mastery involved. So if you favor frontline or flank or attack and support, you have characters that can do that. You can pick a character to stick with, or you can just experiment with whatever you like. Now, here are the cons for some of it. The cons for Paladin, it's still in beta. There will be bugs, there will be crashes. I've actually had a few times where the game crashed on me as I was in the matchmaking queue. So they are updating it as they go along, and they rely on new patches to fix them. And the con for Paladins as well is that in-game cards nullify characters, and then there's cards like Cauterize and Regular that completely nullify all the tanks and healers halfway through the game, and it constitutes a battle of who gets the max first. And also, unfortunately, some of the characters are not well balanced, as the characters range from being highly underpowered to wildly overpowered. So it's not really that good of a mix because they might nerf them or buff them too much. Now, a con for Overwatch is that there is low character counts on release. So far, most of the developers have released 12 characters, but the information may not be up to date as there have been various patches and various updates. There are actually quite a few characters introduced to both games, so there is more of a variety. But as many players will go along there, or if you've been a player since the beginning of each of the games, then you know that at the launch of the game, there wasn't enough characters at the meantime. Now, the other con is that you need to work as a team to be successful, because this game requires you to work as a team. You got to know your roles. You got to know the front line, you got to know the flank, you got to know the support, and then you got to know the damage. If a damage tries to be a front line, then they're always going to die. And that's not going to work. And if a front line tries to do a DPS, then they're going to die eventually. So you have to know your roles, and you have to know your roles successfully. And communication is key. And that is the way to play these kinds of games. Because if you don't play as a team, you are going to die. And that is the truth. So if you don't play well as a team, it's going to be very hard for you. And also the progression system here is a lot like most other games where it's pay to win or pay to play. I personally feel that Paladins is more easier for me to learn because there's not much to pay for. Whereas if you buy Overwatch, it's like $55 right now on sale at the PlayStation Network, or if you can get it on PC for cheaper, completely up to you. But I'm mostly a console gamer, so I'll just stick to the console version of these games because my PC is not a gaming PC, but that's just me. So anyways, Paladins, on the other hand, is completely free to play, and you can allow for perks to be unlocked as you play the game. I've mostly just been playing the game and doing daily logins and collecting resources as I went along here, so it really worked out for me because I log in every day and I only play for like at least 30 minutes to 40 minutes, so I'm unlocking everything as I go. And the great thing about Paladins is that it's free. I love free, I'm saving money, and I definitely don't need to spend money in order to have a good game because I've played both games. I'm going to tell you that now. I've played both games. I've played Overwatch on the free weekend, and I'm still playing Paladins. And the reason I play Paladins still is because, like I said, it's free. And it's very much similar to Overwatch. Well, I mean, if I played Overwatch and Paladins, I've pretty much played them both. But in the end, I go for value over presentation. And Paladins has presented itself very well here, albeit there were a few crashes in the software and there were times when I wasn't able to get into a match properly, but that doesn't matter. What matters to me, and this is to me, is that it's free. I love free, I'm going to stick with free, and I'll probably save more money in the long run. Like, I usually wait for sales that come in for video games. But for Paladins, I got a really good deal here. I have a lot of fun. I made a lot of friends on this game already, and it's fun. I can hardly say enough that it's just so much fun to play. So if I had to choose which game would be better, I'd say both. Both are very good games, strongly presented, and equally fun. So if you're an Overwatch player and you're watching this, then stick with Overwatch because it's the game that you know and you love and you're more familiar with it. But if you've been playing Paladins, then you can find that it's very easy to play Overwatch because you're playing Paladins and the mechanics are very similar, but it's completely different. Like, the characters in this game are very similar in traits because the Reaper has 2 shotguns, and then in Paladins, Androxus has like 2 pistols or 1 pistol. So there are quite similar traits, but it's completely different. So you be the judge of that. I know for a fact that there's one character in the game that you've seen in the clip called Reinhardt, and I play as a character named Fernando. And Fernando is like the heavy shield user, and Reinhardt's also a heavy shield user as well. So there are very similar ideologies and different cosmetics in the game. Very similar cosmetics, I should say. A lot of the characters have strengths and weaknesses, and you have to know your roles properly. I believe I'm going to end this video off saying that if you're looking for something that is highly competitive and highly fun, and you want to spend some extra money, go for Overwatch. But if you're just new to the whole gaming scene and you don't want to spend money right away, get Paladins. Because both, I believe, are well presented and you'll have the best gaming experience. But being that Paladins is in beta, you might have some issues. So don't mind the issues. The patches that will keep going here will make the game continually better. So everybody, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope this was informative. And if you liked what you seen, leave a thumbs up and leave comments below on what your favorite game is. If you like Overwatch, tell me you like Overwatch and why. And if you like Paladins, tell me you like Paladins and why. I would love to know each of your feedbacks and see where this goes. And you can get these on PC and consoles. So everybody, thank you so much for watching. Have a good day, and game on. We'll see you later.
Make them know what y'all do.